Today I'm going to be making an apple crisp. I wanted to find a way to make a dessert that wasn't a smoothie. And if you grate the apples, they come out with a really smooth consistency after they get cooked, and it's really easy to eat on a soft food diet. We're going to need apples, butter, baking powder, almond flour, vanilla, sugar. I'm using brown sugar. Walnuts. We're going to blend those up so they become like powder and you can eat them really easily. Oat flour, cornstarch, and to the streusel topping I like to add flax seeds, chia seeds, and a little bit of collagen. The flax seeds and the chia seeds are also going to go in the blender, so they're also going to get turned into powder. I'm going to start by making the topping. We're going to start by making oat flour. If you just take regular oats that you would make oatmeal with and put them in a blender, you get oat flour. So we're going to start by doing that. We're going to need a 1/4 cup total, and I usually just make a cup at a time so I don't have to keep doing it every time. I need a 1/4 cup of oat flour, a 1/4 cup of almond flour. I used almond flour because it's basically the same thing as oat flour. It's ground up almonds, and so it's going to have good protein. You don't have to use almond flour if you want. Oat flour is perfect substitute, and it's very affordable. Now I'm going to add walnuts to the blender, along with a tablespoon of chia seeds and a tablespoon of flax seeds. Walnut dust, I'm going to add a little bit of salt, less than a 1/4 teaspoon, and a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. I need 1/8 cup of brown sugar. The easiest way to measure that is to take a 1/4 cup and only fill it halfway full. I'm going to mix everything together, and then I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. And as you can see, everything in this is really soft and fluffy. There isn't going to be trouble swallowing any of it. And finally, a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. To start with the apples, I'm going to melt a tablespoon of butter. I'm going to be using a box grater to grate the apples, but first I want to peel them. After you take the stem off, I think the easiest way to peel apples is to peel across the top, flip it over, peel across the bottom, and then go down each side. And if I do it that way, it gets done pretty quickly. We are going to be grating them, so the peels may not be troublesome for you, but I worried about swallowing them. I wondered if they would be something that would feel weird to me, so I just take them off. Apples oxidize when they're exposed to air, which means they turn brown. So that's why I saved the apple step to be near the end. I'm just going to go on the larger side of the box grater. I'm going to go around and around with the apple until I'm only left with the core. And as you can see, the pieces are really thin and tiny. So, I mean, if you wanted to swallow this whole, you could. I don't think it really... That's not something I would want to try, but I don't think it would be a problem at all. They're going to cook down into kind of a soft mush. And apples are really sticky, so by the time you're done peeling all the apples, your countertop, your floor, maybe your arms are going to be pretty sticky. This This is a 9x5 pan and it's going to take 3 apples to fill it. If you're worried about the oxidation of the apples, or if you're going to be doing a lot of things at once, you can make a lemon water mixture to put the apples in that keeps them from turning brown. And it's a 1/4 cup of lemon juice to 4 cups of water. And you can just let the grated apple pieces sit in that mixture until you're ready to put the whole thing together. I used to do that, and then I got paranoid and started thinking that it made it taste sour. So now I leave the apple parts to the end, and I'm cutting out any little pieces that don't look great. So now I do the apple at the end, and then I cut out the step of lemon water. If you want to, you can just add a tablespoon of lemon juice to the apple mixture as you're grating the apples in if the thought of tasting lemon tastes good. I'm going to take a tablespoon of almond flour, the melted butter, the vanilla, a 1/4 teaspoon, an 1/8 of a cup of brown sugar, and 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, as well as 1/2 teaspoon of cornstarch, which I think I'm going to do first. And if you want to preheat your oven to a 375-degree oven, and then mix everything together. I always figure I'm going to put this in a bigger bowl and mix it so that I don't make a mess. And I always forget. This to me felt like a way that I could have a typical dessert that might be available at holiday dinners, but it would be soft enough that it's something that I could eat, and I could make it for everybody, I could make it for just myself, but also it doesn't have a ton of sugar in it, so I used to eat it for breakfast, honestly. It tasted really good, and I liked it. Alright, once we have everything all mixed together, then we're going to add the topping on. And then we're going to dot the topping with 2 tablespoons of butter. Mixing the baking powder into the topping. And if you can tell, it's all powdery. It's all basically dust. There isn't anything here that's bigger than a grain of salt. And I have 2 tablespoons of butter that I'm going to cut into small pieces and dot the top of the topping with butter. Cutting the pieces up ahead of time is usually a good idea. It's not an idea I had today. My supervisor just woke up from her nap. I'll see if I can show her to you if she comes back. 375 degree oven for about an hour.